Hello everybody and Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the channel. This is coming out on Christmas Day. It was filmed before, but I wanted to release it on Christmas Day because I feel like I've got a really special Christmas beer to share with you. And then hopefully next year, or there might be still some left this year, you can go and get one yourself and enjoy it like I hope I'm about to. Now, yes, like I've said, this is recorded before, and I scheduled it to come out today on Christmas Day. So if you want to watch it today, well, if you're watching it, you are watching it on Christmas Day, and I want to say just a really Merry Christmas. I'm probably repeating myself, but yeah, thank you so much to everybody that supported the channel, everybody that subscribed, that's commented, that's given me feedback, that's given me advice, that's gave me some brilliant comments and asked me to do different things, especially with the latest video I've done with the physics machine. It's been really, really, really heartwarming, and I really do appreciate it. And again, I want to say a big thank you to Airline Audio. They do the podcast for it's the beer shed community and beer and ale lovers all over the world. And this Christmas jumper has been rocking every single scratchy ears Christmas beer that I've done. So this is going to be the last beer that I'm doing in the jumper and for Christmas. And what a beer it is! It's got a cork, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to take me a long while to show you this because it is a big, big bottle. Now, I purchased this from Harbour Stores over in Market Harbour. This is a 750 milliliter, 10% ABV bottle to be drank by me on my own. So here we have a very special beer from Gouden Carolus Brouwerij, and it's their Gouden Carolus Christmas beer. I've got some notes in front of me because I wanted to do a bit of research on this beer. I didn't want to spend my time guessing and seeing what it is, although I've got lots of time. I just didn't want the video to be like an hour long and me trying to pick out everything in here. So this beer is brewed with 3 hops, Belgium hops, and 6 different herbs and spices. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's brewed in August and then it is rested for a few months to reach its optimum balance. 10% ABV, 750ml bottle. Let's get into this, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to pop it or whether I'm going to need a corkscrew or what. I've never had a bottle. You can buy this smaller and it's just a flip top. Now, I toyed with what glass to use. I was going to use this Chimay glass, but then I thought it's a big glass and I do tend to gulp my beers, so I've gone for the standard Speno favourite. I love these glasses. The way the beer pours into it is excellent. I ought to probably put this through the physics machine, but I want to let this beer be allowed to pour how it wants to pour. And I do love it because this says on the back to serve between 9 and 12 degrees. I've just made sure the fridge is at about 8 degrees because I thought when I take it out and I talk to you, by the time I get to pour this beer, it'll probably be up at about 9. As we drink through it, we'll get it up to that 12 degrees and maybe even warmer by the time I get down to the bottle. I've been really struggling with my words recently, and I'll tell you for why, because I've been staying up late and getting up early doing these things. I mean, it's no good staying up till 1 in the morning and getting up at 4:45. But I've still managed to bust it at work because the adrenaline has been buzzing to get everything done for Christmas to get the holiday. So anyway, I hope you've had a lovely run up to Christmas. I hope whenever you're watching this, whether it's Christmas Day or whether you catch up after Christmas, I just hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. I hope 2024 is going to be magical. And, I just hope we can... Oh, now will this twist off? I just hope we can all smile through 2024. Oh, yes. Now, right. Okay, so this is going to twist off. Now, there's nothing above me. Shall I let it pop? Shall I catch it? It almost looks like it's wanting... I think we're going to get a good pop out of this. So let's see. Oh. It's worked its way up. It's working its way up. So let's see if we can. Shall we see if we can pop it off? Ooh, I'm scared. Feels like there's a bottle bomb coming. You better not give me a damp squid. Come on, lad. Oh, oh my God! Woo, my days! I'm going to have to go up on the roof and check that. I'm sure it bounced off. I went that way. It doesn't look like it's gone through. There must have been a massive distortion on the mic, but whoa! Check that out. Now this, me and Jimbo were talking about this. And we talked about why certain beers shouldn't really, they feel wrong in a can. All the craft beers feel right in cans, but literally a can just couldn't take that type of pressure, could it? You know what I mean? It stopped. I mean, you got to keep these beers cold because the pressure that builds up, the pressure in that was absolutely outrageous. But we had a nice big bang, but the beer stayed in there. I can't wait. This is heavy. I mean, I'm going to put on pretty £4 in weight drinking this. Let's get it out into this glass. I'm really excited. Oh, my life. Now, even though this is 10%, I've had stronger beers. That is coming out of there like a liquor. Look at it. I'm going to put it a bit harder because it looks like it needs a little bit. I can see it building. Here we are. Ooh, wow. It's still building. It's climbing. Wow, 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 wow. I can smell that from here. That is one of those. Yeah, that has got some serious. Look at that. Now, now I'm just thinking. I don't even know whether the cork will go back in. I don't want any air, too much air getting into that. So let's see what I've got. Let's have a look. That'll do. That might do. But just give me a minute. I'm just going to see if I can find the cork and see if I can just pop it back in for a second. So I think now this might just. We're sort of in. Oh, we're in. Now what I did there, you know when a cork comes out of a bottle, that's raise the blood pressure. When a cork comes out the bottle, it tends to have the bottom of it splay out. So to try and get it back in, so I've just cut that off. I've just sawn it off with my handy knife that just happened to be down here. And yeah, so I know that, I mean, the head's dissipated a little bit, but it's still there. So yeah, I just don't want this to be sat here and start, it's not a wine. We don't need to make it breathe and don't need to warm it up and we don't need to get any air in it. Nice. I hope I don't knock that off. That would be catastrophic. Anyway, does that feel safe? Is that safe? Right, here we go. So this is looking very nice in the glass. Now, how's it looking? Let's get it up to this light so I can see it here. It is a ruby red colour. It doesn't really look that on the camera there. But yeah, it is. Oh, now that's a shame that the camera isn't picking it up like it is. It is about there. That's about how it's looking. It is quite. It's almost like how a Guinness is dark or black, but it's actually sort of like red if you hold it up to the light. I've been experimenting with this light that I've got to see how it does. So yeah, but it is, and it's very smelly. So let's have a smell of this bad boy. Oh, woo, that is. Oh, that's got a lovely Christmas smell. That's got a very oh, what is that? Do you know what? It annoys me when I can smell something and it's there to be described. It's so prominent. It's so there, but I can't think what it is. It certainly smells nice. It's medicine-y. It's like a Cavonia. That's it. Yeah, Cavonia. Oh, it is. It is sort of medicine-y, but not in a horrible way at all. Not in a horrible way at all. The head is actually very off-white. As we're tipping that round, you can see now the head is very off-white. It is really sort of mixing up with that beer nicely. And Yeah, it is. Let's not prolong the agony. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers, everybody that's watched the channel. Thank you so much. I didn't check how many subscribers we're at, but I think it was 275 the other day. It's a massive, massive thing. It's really, really, really nice. Merry Christmas. I've even made the lights do a little colour changing and whatever. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is another one of those beers. See, all the Christmas beers they can have that Christmas cake sort of taste. Some of them can purely taste. It's like, I've said it before, like the Oktoberfest beers, they all have a very much the same sort of theme running through them, but they have very hidden flavors, very hidden. They're very sort of like you have to get right into them. And these Christmas beers, some of them are just like quite strong, Christmas cakey, like boozy fruit. But this is one of those where it's not. It is a spicy, herby, different kind of taste that is certainly Christmas and certainly beautiful to smell. That sort of medicine-y, I mean, that sounds really ridiculous as a Christmas beer, doesn't it? The smell of like a Cavonia. But Cavonia, is it Cavonia? How many times as kids have we had Cavonia and got, give me some more, give me some more. It's like, is it the kids' beer? Like it's medicine. This is medicine. Beer's medicine, isn't it? So, on the note, oh my God, the herb, yeah, the herbiness is really giving that medicine-y type of taste, which you would think would be talking like a medicine. Even hearing myself say it makes it sound not appealing at all, but trust me.
So I've got up very early this morning, I couldn't sleep, it's Christmas Eve, to edit this video. And it's really been bugging me about the medicine thing. And I've been thinking about it all the way through editing this video, and I've got it. I've got it. It's like an aniseed, like the star anise. That type of smell. That's where I'm getting that medicine smell. I was very worried when it says about off smells from probably the wild yeast esters and things, but it isn't an off smell. It isn't, and I've realised I've been really racking my brains, really thinking about the spices, and really sort of concentrating as I'm watching myself do this and editing it. I've just thought, yeah, it's like the aniseedy type of star anise, that type of spicy smell, if you know what I mean. So that makes me feel a bit, and I've also got another one. I've bought another one. I'm going to try it again. But yeah, it's just the medicine smell. It's just that aniseedy, spicy, yeah, star anise. Basically, that's what it is. It's not. When I researched it, why am I getting medicine smelling beer? And it's saying, oh, this is due to off flavours. I thought, what? No, that wasn't that. That ain't what I'm getting. I'm even going to try some Cavonia because I'm sure I've got some. See what it tastes like, just to rekindle it. Anyway, back to the waffle. From this waffle,
I always say nectar. It's nectar, and this, and again, I like the fact that this. I'm going from its first temperature to its last. So I'm going for the temperature it suggests as a cold temperature at 9 degrees. 9 degrees is sort of like, for one of these beers, I say quite cold, but after having the Everard's Sleigh Bell, ice cold and still getting in flavours, I've changed my tune a little bit. And some of these stronger beers are quite nice when they're quite cold. It sort of makes it easier to get through the alcohol. It's such a quaffable drink. Wow. And yet it's doing that cling on. It's doing that sort of like, as it goes down here and just warms you, and then it stops and it's just hanging on. And it's leaving that taste. It's leaving that lingering. Oh, it's got a really nice. It feels like a sort of like a sort of a medium, sort of just slightly under medium body to the mouth, but it's without being horrible. It's like not syrupy in a horrible way. It's very sort of like I can't think of the right word, but it is, if you imagine it being syrupy but without being syrupy. It's got that mouthfeel that's quite sort of like refreshing and thin in the mouth, but yet it's quite thick, and it's got real character. It's got a real silky type of sticky, syrupy type of alcohol mixed together mouthfeel, but it's not a sickly beer or anything like that. It's very well put together, very complex, very lovely, lovely head retention still, quite thin bubbles within the head, but it's got a really, really lovely sort of like carbonation feel in the mouth. When you swill it round your mouth, it really ignites them flavours. And it really has. As I just breathed in now, I'm getting another set of flavours there. I'm not getting any sort of deep. There is some malts there. There's not any deep malt flavours in there. It's all sort of quite fresh and hoppy. I mean, it says Belgium hops, so I'm not sure what hops or what type of sort of like flavors, aromas we should be getting out of them. But having 6 herbs and spices, I don't know what herbs and spices, but it's definitely a mixture of everything nice and Christmassy. And really, this should be a sharer. This is something you should. It's got a cork. It's like a bottle of wine. It should be opened on Christmas Day, and it should be shared between everybody. But I've actually got a Christmas beer to have on Christmas Day, and I thought it has to be one of our own. It's got to be from the Everard's Brewery. It's just got to be. Celebrate your own, and because I've had plenty of lovely Belgium and German Christmas beers. Let's just have a chuck down. So yeah, on the chuck down, you do get more of the alcohol hit, a bit more of the medicine-y taste, a bit more of that herbally sort of like medicine-y taste, less of what seems to be the hops. The smell is constant. It's constant on your nose. Every time I'm having a sip of this, you can probably hear the I do put a noise cancellation on this mic because I do a lot of this, and I think if I do it down here, it's probably not loud enough to pick it up, and I annoy myself with it, so I don't want to annoy you guys with it. But yeah, it's stupidly refreshing. It's almost like got a crispness of lager. It's absolutely crazily refreshing. Now, it says in brewed in August, and it's rested for a few months. So, does that have anything to do with it? I mean, obviously, with being resting, it just gets chance to just sort of like finish itself off. I don't know whether it's a bottle conditioned beer. I think it's going to take me being absolutely a little bit slurry by the time I get to the end of it. But I will carry on yabbering, carry on talking about it, and I will drink this full bottle within this beer review. Whether or not I just skip myself through and or fast forward it myself. But I want to make sure that I get everything out of this bottle, and if there's any sediment in there at all, I want it in this glass. I want to warm it up as well. But it's almost got like a dark lager taste about it, or a dark lager sort of like presence about it. It's like it's so crisp and so refreshing. it's some of the beers, some of the high percentage beers and the dark beers can seem, like I said, a bit really full bodied, as in not a pillowy full bodied like some creamy mouthfeel, but like just full of, just so full bodied, like so much ingredients in there and making it really quite sickly. I think I've only had one beer that was a bit sickly that I wouldn't want to another one straight after. It was one of those that's really nice, but it's almost like you've had the richest of puddings, and you go, oh my god, now I've had that, I couldn't eat another thing. Whereas this feels, I feel like when I get to the end of this bottle, I'm not going to even notice, apart from the alcohol, that I've had that. It's crazily refreshing, crazily refreshing. So there's this really delicate bitterness there. I don't think they've done much. I think they're keeping the bitterness away from this a little bit. It really isn't a bitter beer at all. It has obviously got some bitterness there, and I'm sure they have sort of drew out some of them alpha acids in the first edition, but not a lot. They've gave it just a little. I really like every single beer to have a bit of bitterness, really. It's just nice to get that little bit of kick out of the hops, isn't it? This for me, as it's warming up now, so I'm interested. You know what I'm like? I do apologise. I'm breaking it out again, ain't I? So it really does interest me. The temperature of beers really does interest me. And if you watch me and Jimbo on the long video that I've done with him, it's sort of like live but not live. We were live, but we recorded it. So it was just off the cuff chat. We sort of talked about different temperatures of beer, and he gave me one of his beers that he said he likes it really ice cold. Well, really cold. And I said I'd have that type of beer a little bit warmer. And it really is subjective. It's how you enjoy the beer. He sort of says he likes it colder because he doesn't like so much of the flavours that come from that particular beer. Whereas I said, I like it a bit warmer, so I get all that. But the thing is, when you then drink these stronger beers cold, they are brewed with hops. And this has intrigued me because if you got this type of beer with 3 hops and 6 different herbs and spices, you really want to be probably having this cold and making sure you get the full smash out them hops. So anyway, Speno being anal. Right, what are we at? So this is how beer quickly warms up. We are now at 13 degrees. So according to the beer, I should have probably put that back in the fridge. However, I want to get it. I've had it as cold as it can be. I want to get it warmer. So we are at that temperature now. So this is beyond what they're suggesting. However, it still tastes cool. And I am starting to. The beer is starting to change character as it goes through that temperature change. So, wow, it's just getting better and better, but it's so. I love a beer that needs a panel of 7 people to basically. This is a beer that needs a jury, because I think if 7 of us sat around, I don't know where 7 comes from. It is probably my lucky number. I think if 7 of us sat round tasting this beer, we'd probably need a couple of bottles so we get a good amount of beer. And we all wrote secret taste notes down. I can guarantee that we would all have something similar, but as well very, very different. simply because everybody's taste buds are different. Everybody's nose is different. Oh, I'm not going to sweat it yet. Everybody's eyes and everything is different. I mean, the way this pours, let me just show you a little bit closer. It pours like it looks like a liquor. You know, it looks alcoholic. It really does. It looks thick. Now look how slow I poured that, but look at the carbonation level in that. And if we get some, I've got a bit left in that now. If we get some sediment out of that, I'll be so pleased, because I really do not know whether this. I'm going to leave the top off now. In fact, no, I'm going to just put that on it. I am not sure whether this is bottle conditioned or not. This beer in this 750 milliliter bottle, it's given me a different experience within the pour. I poured it more gentle because I wanted to try and get the rest of it out, but the carbonation just gave me that. And this is really, look at it. It is really thickened up. So what temperature are we at now, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a look. So I hope Santa's brought you everything that you wanted. Right, so this is great. Now we're at 10. Can you see that? We're at 10.6 degrees. So thankfully, there must be all sorts of bacteria on this thing, because I just keep sucking it off. Thankfully, the bottle there with the cork on it, it sort of sat there and kept itself fairly cool. It must be quite a thick bottle, quite insulated. So now we're back down to 10 degrees. Fantastic. So the first one was at 9 degrees. Now we're middle of the road. Okay, I had a sip at 14 degrees. So middle of the road, we're getting this very solid head now. Let's see what it tastes like. It's got that same, oh, lovely fruit. But crikey, there's more fruity smells coming through now. It's changing all the while. Oh my God. If you've stuck with me on this video, I thank you so much. Especially if you watch on Christmas Day. You know, I mean, like I said to Janie, to be fair, I said, I'm not sure whether people are going to watch me on Christmas Day, but there is thousands of people that are going to be either switching everything off and eating the dinner and playing games, or they're going to be watching the telly, they're going to be sat down vegging, drinking coffee, they're going to be drinking wine, champagne, beer, going for walks, taking the dog for a walk. Everybody's going to be doing something different, and whatever you're doing on Christmas Day, as long as it makes you smile. My friend at work says to me, I'm going to chill out at home with a dog, watch the telly all day, and have beans on toast. Fair play. Who gives a crap what anybody does on Christmas Day? If it makes you smile, it makes you happy, then that is as good as it gets. So if I'm on your TV screen or your phone or your tablet, laptop, whatever it is, and you're watching me now, and I'm making you smile on Christmas Day, then that puts a smile on my face. So yeah, let's drink this. There's so much going on in this beer. There's so much. It's really hard to get a really, you know, next year I'm going to do it. Oh, it's really taken on a bit of a fruitiness now. On the nose and on the taste, and the lingering taste as well on the back of the tongue, on the back of the palate. You know, and I'm sort of quoting Crummy a bit there on the back of the tongue. I always say the sort of basically the back at the back end of your throat. You know, that last bit. I don't know where our taste buds end, but I just know the experience. As it's gone down, it's almost clings on. You know, like how you get like if you have a spirit, it clings to the side of the glass, or you say you can tell this is a good wine by how it clings to the side of the glass. You know, if you left this beer out for Santa with, you know, what do we leave out for Santa these with the mince? Oh man, God, you know, if I had a mince pie now, oh Christ, yes, because you know what? When I complain, well, I'm not complaining, but you know, when Christmas beers are too, you know, it's like a Christmas beer should be Christmas. It's like a breakfast stout is breakfast, is it? It's not. It ain't expected to taste like bacon and eggs, but it's got coffee and things like that, and it's smooth. You know, they're normally a nitro sort of beer as well. So a lot of the Christmas beers are a fruit cake in a glass, but then you get a Christmas beer that literally does the opposite. It gives you all of that Christmas crash that a beer should be, but you cannot pick out one particular thing. I can't drink this beer and think, oh, it's just, oh, it's cinnamony. Oh, it's just a fruit beer. But there's so many more flavors. The spice, I can't really pick out where the spice is coming from. And the herbs is a funny thing, because herbs, you expect that to be a completely different type of flavor to a spice, a hit. But then all of a sudden, it depends just how you drink this beer, whether you quaff it, whether you swill it around your mouth. You know, it really depends. And this is why these beers need a audience. I could not imagine, unless everybody copied and pasted. I researched this beer simply to find out a bit of history about it. I wanted to find out where it was brewed. I guessed it was going to be, well, I didn't guess, but I mean, it says here Belgium, but I was looking all over the bottom back of this bottle to see if I could see, is it a Belgian beer? But I knew it was a Belgian beer because I picked it up from the Belgian part of the shop. So I knew it was a Belgian beer, but I was just looking all, and you sort of like, you need to convince yourself, don't you? That it is. I've not researched further into it to know what the hops are or what the herbs are in there. But all I know is that, like, if you had this panel of 7, if you had a jury here, then unless you absolutely copied and pasted everything that everybody says, you'd come up with different things. You'd come up with different things. There is not a person in the world, and even the best beer reviewers on the YouTube internet could not, absolutely not pick out everything that's in there. There's people who pick out a lot more than me. There really is. But if you pick out every single part that's in that beer, then you've been told by the brewery. That's all I can say, because it's such a complex beer. It's such an experience. It's such an event to drink this beer. And it's so easy to drink it. But obviously the alcohol is having an effect on me, because the Speno waffle is getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm forgetting what I've said and everything. So, you know, it's a party in a glass for me. The head retention is never ending. I love these glasses. They are absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. I love how they have that little lip. It really just fit in your lips perfect. It like rests on your lip. We talked today, I had a tattoo done today, and me and Jay at Skins and Needles in Wigston talked today about how Christmas used to be when we were kids. This makes me believe in Santa again. This brings the Christmas spirit back into the Spencer Arms. This makes me believe that if I hear footprints on top of this roof now, it is a reindeer landing today, bringing the last of the presents that you should have brought last night. This is the beer you want to leave out for Santa for him to have with his mince pie. Oh, it's amazing. Right, so let's take off the crown. Let's swirl this round. This is a Christmas Day special. This is me believing today's Christmas Day. This is my Christmas Day beer, even though I'm going to be drinking Everard's Sleigh Bell on Christmas Day, and I'm going to be pulling it through the Pint 365 from their mini cask, which is brilliant, using the, I've got to get it right, RLBS vertical extractor. Here it is. This, fantastic for all your mini kegs. Be careful with the ones that are carbonated. You're okay with the cask ones with a soft carbonation where it's the actual real beer, like what you get in the barrel. That takes no venting at all. You vent it, give it 2 minutes, and you're good to go. But if you buy something that's carbonated, so you get like something like a can of Ghost Ship or anything that's not cask, then just be careful when you're adapting it, and it does void the guarantee. But I've got a video on that, a mini keg extractor. It's fantastic, and then you can pull it through the hand pour, and the thing is, you can serve that beer whatever temperature you want. So I'm swilling this big bottle around. Oh god, it just aches the arms a little bit to get the last of this. Please, I'm hoping and hoping and hoping this is a bottle condition beer, and we're going to get some crud and crap out of here. It actually doesn't look like it, to be fair. It really doesn't. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? This beer has been an experience. It really has. It's been 750 millilitres of 10% beer that has gone down my throat like a 5.5% lager. This is, I'm going to say, and I think I have given. Have I given any of the Christmas beers a 10 out of 10? Oh my god, I don't know. I can't remember. And this is one of the reasons why I never ever score beers, because I could have, say I gave a beer an 8 out of 10, and then all of a sudden I looked at this beer and I drank this beer and everything, and I thought, this is a 9 out of 10, but it weren't quite as good as the one I had before, 8 out of 10. I'd be gutted to know that I've scored this higher than one I thought was better. But I just know if I give it a Speno 10 out of 10, I just know it's one of those beers that it doesn't have to be absolutely awesome in its ingredients and its quality, but it has to wow me, and it has to give me that experience. It has to be especially a Christmas beer. It has to be like unwrapping your Christmas beer. It's like those presents you unwrap and you go, oh my god, what's this? Oh my, yes. You know, when you're a kid and you're like, oh, and you run around the room, it's just what I want. It's just what I want. This is one of those Christmas beers that I've unwrapped. I've popped the cork off it. I've took the metal. I've untwisted this, because the reason that's on is to hold that cork on in case this beer gets a little bit too lively and wants to pop it off. Because I knew one of my friend's dads years ago when we were kids used to make his own wine, and he said the corks were constantly popping off. So the reason that's on there is to secure the cork on the top in case it wants to fly off. Well, that cork, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it, that did an absolute boom. So from the very opening of this bottle to the very last few sips has been an absolute experience. And I'm never ever going to lend myself to be able to tell you every single flavour that's in this beer. I don't know what hops are in it or anything. I'm not an expert on herbs. I couldn't smell. I know there's cloves in wheat beers. You get that clove smell. I've actually got cloves and I've chewed them and I've smelled them. There's not a lot going on really for me with them, so it's probably not a smell that really smashes out to me. Citra, you give me a beer with Citra in it, crikey, I can tell that beer from 1,000 feet away. I'm not a big Citra fan. That stuff, like, you know, gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't mind a beer with Citra in it as long as it's not Citra, you know. And then the other thing I don't get, I'm a massive fan of West Coast IPAs, but I don't get that pininess. I really don't. When I'm looking for the forest, I'm looking for that pine forest. When you walk through the pine forest and it's all that forest smell, and that I just do not. But probably I'm more interested in the bitterness. I'm more interested in what makes me suck my cheeks in. So, you know, I'm not a beer expert at all, and I'm not a beer connoisseur to the point of being able to smell thousands of aromas in beers or taste thousands of tastes. But what I do know is, I do know what a quality beer is. I do know what I'm meant to get out of a Christmas beer. And I do know the head retention is fantastic on that. I do know what a quality beer looks like, what it tastes like, what it feels like in the mouth. So, you know, this beer, that's great. That's great. If it's not available in the shops anymore, there might be some left over for New Year's if you want some. But next year, readily available. There'll be lots of bottle shops that sell this. There'll be lots of online beer suppliers that sell this. Go and get yourself this beer. Go and really enjoy it. It is a Speno 10 out of 10. And I'm probably going to have to swing this around because I'm still going to be chatting to you about it. The hops and the herbs are the star of the show. The malts, whatever malts they use in this, are really, really like, they're there, they are there, but the hops and the herbs and the spices are the star of the show, and that is what makes this beer just really, really, really in your face fantastic. I'm so glad I left this till last. I'm so glad. It's absolutely wonderful, fantastic, well put together, awesome, carbonated, lovely looking, head retaining, frigging brilliant Christmas beer, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. I'm at an hour long video. I'm going to edit it down, but I'm still think you watched 40 minutes. If you have stuck to the end of this, I thank you so much. I don't get the hashtag Speno waffle for nothing. But yeah, just enjoy your day. Have a fantastic day. Sending out big Speno love and a happy new year and all the very best for 2024. Cheers, over. I really don't want to stop talking because I just really enjoy it. I'm down here on my own. I've got the elves here. I've got a few flashing lights. I've got a great beard. I'm chatting to you guys. And if there's only one person watching it with a smile on their face, then I feel good about that. But yeah, it's amazing. It's a therapy, this is. So you take care of yourself. And it'll slow down in January because I'm actually having some time off the beer, just to get the linings back in the livers and the kidneys and things, and just get the body sorted again, and then I can hit it hard throughout the year. Okay, people, take care of yourselves and have a fantastic time, and please drink responsibly. For goodness sake, do not spill this beer. Much love, Speno.